Hi Zaf, a pleasure to be welcomed here today. We're in the nerve centre of Shababs, and what are you going to be cooking, mate?
So yeah, I'm going to be doing a Balti venison today. First time ever, to be honest, in the 37 years that we've been open. So yeah, I'm not afraid of challenges, so yeah, let's go for it.
So a range of bright, colourful, fresh ingredients there.
Doing the Balti in an actual Balti dish. It's not something that you get in a typical restaurant. It's a proper, real deal here in the Balti Triangle, and we're doing it the Shababs way. So first things first, some veg oil. Turn on the heat.
So that was some onions and peppers.
And tomato there.
Tomato.
And then we're adding the venison.
Nice fresh venison. So deer meat for anybody who's not in the know.
Typically was when we run our restaurant, chicken is always done fresh water, lamb, keema, things like that, vegetables as well, dal is done pre-cooked but sort of finished off in the Balti process, just like you can see here.
Yeah. So when you fire the pan like that, does it give any difference to the taste?
Yeah, of course, 100%. Not only does it sort of give it a nice charred sort of flavour, but it sort of speeds up the cooking process as well.
I just want to tell anybody who's watching this that isn't in a restaurant, don't do it at home. The times I've had to paint my ceiling is nobody's business.
I mean, at home you're not going to get this sort of flame anyway, in a domestic kitchen. But you can nowadays sort of get camping stoves and that stuff like that, to use outdoors. It's nice, it's sort of healthy alternative for normal curry, if you like, because you've got a high flame, any excess oil in the dish sort of blends it off as well. So towards the end of it, we'll have hardly any oil.
So I'll be putting the recipe, the ingredients for this in the description of the video so you can replicate this at home. Make sure you've got your Balti bowl though, or it's not a Balti.
Right, we're just going to turn this down a little bit. Normally a Balti is sort of cooked on a high flame from start to finish. But because this is venison, we're just going to slow it down a little bit. And sort of let it cook through before we add our base sauces. So normally a typical Balti is done in about 7 or 8 minutes, quicker than a frozen meal. But this one probably take a little bit longer.
And the great thing about Balti is less washing up, isn't it? Because it's cooked and served in the same pan.
Exactly,
so
100%.
yes.
So very efficient. We've been going here since 1987, where we were a small sort of cafe-style restaurant with about 3 or 4 tables, 20 covers we had, but now we've grown to 122 covers, and we've got plans to go up to about 250 covers now.
Smells some beautiful charring on that venison.
Now we're just going to add our base sauce in, which is basically a vegetable stock.
Famous base gravy. So what goes in your base gravy?
So basically nothing secret at all. You've got onions, green peppers, tomatoes, garlic, ginger, various spices, and they're all sort of blitzed together. Ground cumin, fenugreek, garam masala, and ground coriander. a sort of steel tandoor, which has got a wider base to it, and we can get more naans in there, and we can do a big family naans in there as well.
Yeah, and steel doesn't crack either, so that's
yeah,
good.
hardly any maintenance. You know, it's been going strong for about 37 years now. The other thing is with sort of clay ovens, you can't get as many naans in. You definitely can't get a table naan in there. And obviously they crack from time to time as well.
So a table naan is a family naan.
Family naan,
yes.
yes, we shared between 4 or 5 people.
Gas operated.
So a naan bread can be done typically in about 90 seconds.
Yeah, and that
once it's in there.
is the go-to accompaniment to a Balti.
Yeah.
Rice and a Balti sort of don't go together so well.
I mean, it's personal preference. Each to their own. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having rice, but I mean, a lot of people do have either roti or naan bread.
Definitely.
Yeah, sort of mop up the last bit.
Yeah, my aim is to not use a knife and fork or a spoon when I'm eating a Balti. I want to order enough, usually tandoori roti, to not even use cutlery. So the naan going onto the cushion, some poles inserted to stop it puffing up. So how long does your tandoor oven take to heat?
Normally about 25 minutes. But once it gets going, like once customers start flowing in, it won't go cold, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But obviously when the orders sort of stop and it's just on like a pilot,
Yes.
then it'll stay warm, but it won't get hot enough, just like now. You know, it's a quiet lunchtime.
Yeah.
So, you know, you need about 5 minutes to sort of heat that up.
And
And as soon as it starts bubbling up, you know it's a perfect temperature.
And there's something just so satisfying about watching those hot
Yeah,
rolls, watching that happen.
You just slap a bit of water on top, stop the bread sort of drying out.
Right.
You can just put the lid back on, and in about 90 seconds, you have a fresh naan bread coming out of there.
So sorry, that's not coriander, that's Pakistani Viagra. Beautiful naan, the perfect combination. So how is it, Andy?
Lovely. See that caramelisation there, just lovely.
It's really essential to get that characteristic Balti char around the edge of the Balti that you just wouldn't get with an aluminium pan put onto a plate. So the pan just keeps on getting better and better, darker and darker, just like a wok. So what was that, Andy?
I always say, if ever I murder somebody, hopefully that will never happen, and there's capital punishment introduced, my final meal will be a Balti.
That would be your death row meal.
Absolutely.